You get your salary on Friday, $3,800. For a few seconds, the number feels large. Then the bills begin taking it apart. $1,200 for rent, $450 for the car, $300 for groceries, $180 for utilities. Another $220 disappears into subscriptions, insurance, fuel, and payments you barely remember agreeing to. By the middle of the month, the $3,800 is already gone. And you are not poor. You have a decent apartment, a decent car, a decent phone, a decent life. That is the problem. Nothing feels wrong enough to force you to change. So you keep working. You tell yourself the next raise will make things easier. Then your salary becomes $4,500. And something strange happens. Your apartment gets better. Your car gets newer. Your weekends become more expensive. Your lifestyle quietly expands to absorb the money. The extra $700 never becomes freedom. It becomes comfort. This is lifestyle inflation. It rarely arrives as one reckless decision. It arrives as small upgrades that feel completely reasonable. A nicer apartment, a better phone, more restaurants, a larger car payment, a few subscriptions, a vacation that becomes an annual expectation. None of these purchases destroys you. Together, they change the amount of your life that must be sold to maintain them. You begin to understand something uncomfortable. The price of an object is not always its price tag. Sometimes the real price is the number of hours you must work to keep owning it. Imagine your after-tax income is $4,500 a month. You work roughly 160 hours. That makes each hour worth about $28 before considering everything else attached to your employment. Now imagine upgrading your car costs and another $500 every month. That car is not simply costing $500. It is asking for roughly 18 hours of your working life every month. More than 2 full workdays every month for years. The same calculation begins changing the way you see money. A $1,500 phone is no longer just a phone. A $40,000 car is no longer just transportation. A larger house is no longer just more space. They become exchanges. Money for comfort, and money for money is ultimately exchanged for time. But you don't understand this immediately. At first, you still chase the upgrades. Because comfort feels like progress, you save $5,000. Then you reach $10,000. For the first time, you have an emergency fund. Something unexpected happens. Your car needs a $900 repair. You pay for it without borrowing, and nothing inside you collapses. That feeling is different. You have not bought something impressive. You have bought the ability to say no to a crisis. So you keep going. You start investing $500 every month, a diversified portfolio, low-cost index funds, long-term. You are not trying to become rich next year. You are trying to make future versions of yourself less dependent on a paycheck. At a hypothetical 8% annual return, $500 invested every month could grow to roughly $300,000 over 20 years. The number matters, but the deeper transformation is what happens in your mind. You begin protecting your savings, not because you want to stare at a larger number, because every dollar invested represents a tiny piece of future freedom. Then you receive another raise, $5,500 a month. This time, you do something different. You don't immediately upgrade your life. Your old car still works. Your apartment is still comfortable. You increase your investments instead, maybe $1,200 a month. Your income rises, but your required lifestyle barely moves. And slowly, the distance between what you earn and what you need begins to widen. That distance is financial power. Because eventually you realize wealth is not simply the ability to buy more. It is the ability to require less from your future. A person making $10,000 a month but needing $9,500 to maintain their lifestyle may have less freedom than someone earning $6,000 and living comfortably on $3,500. One has more income. The other has more margin. And margin is where freedom begins. Years pass. Your investments compound quietly. $20,000 becomes $50,000. $50,000 becomes $100,000. You still work. You still buy things. You still enjoy comfort. But comfort no longer controls the structure of your life. You can leave a bad job without immediately facing disaster. You can take 6 months to build something. You can help your family without destroying your finances. You can say no. And that may be the most expensive thing money can buy. Not a mansion, not a supercar, not a luxury watch, time. Because eventually, you discover the hidden price of comfort. It was never the money you spent. It was the future hours you quietly committed to paying for it. And real wealth begins when you stop asking how much more you can afford and start asking how much less of your life you need to sell.